Do you know that there are subtle signs an elderly person is entering their final year of life? Most people don't, and that's what makes this topic so important. Aging doesn't happen overnight. It leaves quiet traces. Changes so small that many families overlook them until it's too late. But if you pay close attention, the body, the mind, and even a person's daily habits start giving gentle signals that their strength, resilience, and vitality are declining faster than before. In today's video, we'll uncover 6 deeply revealing signs that often appear when someone is nearing the end of their life. These are not dramatic or sensational. They're quiet, consistent changes that speak louder than words. Whether you're caring for aging parents, a spouse, or even looking after your own health after 70, these insights can help you understand what your body and soul may be trying to tell you. Now let's get started. Number 1, a noticeable decline in physical strength. The first and often most visible sign that an elderly person may be approaching their final year is a sudden or steady decline in physical strength. This isn't about simply getting tired more easily. It's about losing the ability to do things that were manageable just months before. Tasks like standing up from a chair, walking short distances, or even holding utensils become noticeably harder. You might see a once active person start sitting longer, moving slower, or relying on support for balance. Their grip weakens, their shoulders slump, and their steps lose confidence. This physical decline happens because in advanced aging, the body's systems begin to lose synchronization. Muscles shrink faster due to protein breakdown. The heart pumps less efficiently, and oxygen delivery to cells decreases. It's not just fatigue, it's the body quietly signaling that it's shifting its focus from growth and recovery to maintenance and survival. You'll also notice changes in facial expression and posture. Their body might appear smaller, their movements more cautious, and even their breathing slightly shallower. For many, appetite decreases during this phase because digestion slows down and energy demand drops. And while some might dismiss this as just old age, these are the signs the body is preparing for a slower rhythm, a natural conservation of energy that often precedes deeper health changes. One key detail many families overlook is that older adults in this stage might begin refusing food or drink, not out of stubbornness, but because their internal systems are no longer processing them efficiently. The body intuitively starts rejecting excess input, focusing instead on sustaining vital organs for as long as it can. If you notice your loved ones sleeping, more losing interest in daily routines, or withdrawing from activities they once enjoyed, don't see it as laziness. It's their body's way of conserving its final energy reserves. Gentle exercise, calm encouragement, and emotional support can help, but forcing too much physical activity may only exhaust them further. True care during this time means respecting their pace, honoring their limits, and understanding that every quiet moment they take to rest isn't a sign of weakness. It's a natural part of the body's graceful transition. Number 2, a sudden change in sleep and alertness. Another sign that a person may be nearing their final year of life is a significant change in sleep patterns and alertness. What once was a steady rhythm of wakefulness and rest begins to shift toward longer periods of sleep, often broken by brief moments of awareness. Many seniors begin sleeping 14 to 16 hours a day, not because they are bored or inactive, but because their body is slowly winding down. You might notice them dozing off in the middle of the day, even during conversations or meals. Their nights may become restless, filled with frequent awakenings, confusion, or even talking in their sleep. Some begin to experience vivid dreams or moments where they seem to drift between reality and memory, speaking softly to people who aren't in the room. This isn't always a sign of dementia. It's often the mind's gentle preparation for letting go. There's also a shift in alertness during waking hours. Their eyes may seem distant or unfocused, their attention shorter, and their reactions slower. Conversations that once flowed easily might feel fragmented. They may repeat phrases or forget what they were saying. But underneath this fogginess, there's often a strange sense of calm, as if the mind is gradually detaching from the intensity of the physical world. Physiologically, this happens because the body's oxygen levels and circulation begin to change. The brain receives less stimulation and metabolism slows dramatically. The heart works harder to pump blood through narrowed vessels, and the body begins conserving energy for essential functions only. Family members sometimes worry, thinking their loved one is depressed. But in truth, this deep drowsiness is part of the body's natural transition. The spirit begins to prioritize peace over productivity. Instead of pushing them to stay active or wake up, it's more loving to allow rest, to hold their hand, to sit quietly beside them, to let them know they're not alone in this slowing down. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 3, noticeable withdrawal from social connection. One of the most emotionally powerful signs that an elderly person may be nearing Their final year is a gradual withdrawal from social interactions. You may notice that someone who once loved chatting, attending family gatherings, or calling friends now prefers quiet solitude. They begin declining visits, spending more time sitting alone, or quietly staring out the window. This isn't necessarily sadness. It's often a deep, instinctive turning inward. As the end of life approaches, the brain's priorities shift. Emotional energy is conserved just like physical energy. The individual may start feeling that conversations and social obligations take too much effort. They become more selective about whom they spend time with, preferring a few meaningful moments with loved ones rather than many superficial exchanges. You'll hear phrases like, "I just want peace," or "I'm fine, don't worry about me." Sometimes this withdrawal can be mistaken for depression. But there's a quiet difference. In depression, people often want to feel better. In the natural withdrawal that comes with the body slowing down, they simply want to rest. It's not about giving up. It's about letting go of what no longer feels necessary. Their focus shifts inward, reflecting on memories, unfinished business, and their place in the bigger picture of life. You may also notice that their voice grows softer, their speech slower, and their responses shorter. This is because their mind is no longer racing through daily thoughts. It's slowing down, prioritizing emotional peace over social engagement. They might express appreciation more often, say thank you, with deeper meaning, or quietly smile instead of speaking. For families, this phase can be bittersweet. It's natural to want to pull them back, to say, "Come join us, you'll feel better." But sometimes the most loving act is to sit quietly beside them, holding their hand and simply be there. Silence at this stage becomes its own language of love. It's also important to remember that this withdrawal isn't just emotional, it's biological. The brain releases fewer stimulatory hormones, and the nervous system begins to favor calm and rest over interaction. This is part of the body's natural rhythm preparing for closure. If you recognize this sign, see it as an invitation to make moments simpler. No long talks, no pressure, just presence. A quiet companion, a warm touch, or a short visit can mean more than hours of conversation. Because in these quiet spaces, the soul often begins its most peaceful work, accepting the journey ahead. Number 4, gradual loss of appetite and thirst. One of the clearest physical signs that the body is preparing for its final phase is a consistent decline in appetite and thirst. You may notice that an elderly person begins to eat less, skip meals, or refuse foods they once enjoyed. Drinks sit untouched, and even their favorite desserts no longer seem appealing. Family members often try to encourage eating, but what's happening is not a matter of choice. It's a natural process of the body winding down. As the metabolism slows, the body no longer requires as much fuel to function. The digestive system becomes less efficient, and the organs begin prioritizing their remaining energy for essential tasks like heart and brain function. Forcing food at this point can cause discomfort, nausea, bloating, or choking because the system can no longer process the same amount of intake it once did. You might also observe that their mouth becomes drier, their tongue coated, and they're swallowing slower. These are signs that hydration and digestion are no longer working in the same coordinated rhythm. Sometimes the sense of taste fades altogether, making food seem bland or even unpleasant. It's not stubbornness or sadness. It's biology signaling that the need for food is diminishing. There's often an emotional component too. Seniors who sense their time is limited begin to detach from physical desires, including hunger. They may speak less about what they want to eat and more about people, memories, or gratitude. This shift shows that their focus is turning inward, from bodily needs to emotional peace. Families may find this difficult to accept. It's natural to feel that feeding them is caring for them. But in truth, comfort, presence, and love matter more at this stage than calories or meals. Offering small sips of water, a cool washcloth on the lips, or even the smell of a familiar dish can be comforting gestures. The goal isn't to fight the body's decline, but to ease it with dignity. If you're caring for someone showing these signs, remember the body's wisdom knows when to let go. Respecting this transition can be the greatest act of compassion you can give. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 5, decline in physical movement and strength. Another telling sign that an elderly person may be approaching their final year is a visible, steady decline in mobility and physical strength. This change doesn't happen overnight. It creeps in quietly week by week until one day, even simple movements like getting out of bed or walking across the room become exhausting tasks. You might notice that their steps get shorter, their balance becomes uncertain, or their posture begins to lean forward. Chairs and railings suddenly become essential for stability. Some start dragging their feet slightly when they walk or hesitate before standing up, as if their body no longer trusts itself. These changes often come from a combination of muscle loss, reduced blood flow, and slower nerve signaling. In the later stages of life, the body begins prioritizing survival over mobility. Muscles naturally weaken because the body isn't building tissue the same way it once did. The heart pumps more slowly, circulation decreases, and joints stiffen. For many seniors, this means even moderate movement can feel like climbing a hill. And as fatigue grows, so does inactivity, which in turn speeds up physical decline. Another subtle yet powerful sign is how they sit or rest. You may find them leaning their head against the chair more often, closing their eyes in silence, or sitting still for long stretches without fidgeting. The body begins to crave stillness because every movement costs more energy than before, but it's not only physical, it's also emotional. Many seniors lose motivation for movement because life starts feeling smaller. The places they used to go feel unnecessary. Their priorities shift from doing to being, from activity to reflection. It's as if their spirit begins preparing to detach from the physical world. For caregivers and loved ones, this can be one of the hardest signs to witness. It's tempting to encourage more walking, more exercise, but forcing the body past its natural limit can cause pain or even injury. The key is to focus on comfort and dignity, gentle stretching, warm blankets, a recliner that supports the body well, and most of all, human presence. What matters now isn't how far they walk, it's how peaceful their steps feel. Small gestures like helping them move with care, massaging their hands, or offering reassurance do more for the heart than any physical therapy can. Because at this stage, love becomes the greatest form of strength. Number 6, subtle changes in breathing and awareness. In the final stage of life, one of the most telling yet often misunderstood signs is a change in how an elderly person breathes, speaks, and perceives their surroundings. Breathing patterns may shift from steady and rhythmic to shallow, irregular, or even pause for several seconds before resuming again. This is known as Cheney-Stokes breathing, a natural rhythm that signals the body's systems are slowly shutting down. To a loved one, this can sound frightening, but it isn't painful. It's the body conserving energy as oxygen demand decreases. The lungs, heart, and brain start working in quieter coordination, using only what's needed to maintain comfort. Sometimes you might notice a faint rattle in the throat, caused by relaxed muscles and accumulated saliva. This doesn't necessarily mean distress. It simply reflects that the body's automatic functions are slowing one by one. Alongside this, awareness begins to fade in and out. The person may seem half awake, half dreaming. Their eyes might stay half open but unfocused, or they might speak softly about people or places long gone. Many families describe hearing phrases like, "I'm going home," or "they're waiting for me." While these moments can seem mystical, they're often the mind's way of bridging the world between consciousness and release. It's not uncommon for the dying to speak of seeing light, feeling warmth, or sensing presence. Whether interpreted spiritually or scientifically, these experiences are deeply personal and often bring comfort rather than fear. It's as if the mind in its final clarity is preparing the heart for peace. As breathing grows lighter, the pauses between breaths lengthen. The skin may cool slightly, hands and feet turning pale or bluish. Circulation focuses on the core organs, and the body enters a state of rest unlike any other, a stillness that no longer seeks to fight but to surrender. For loved ones, the instinct is often to intervene, to call out, shake gently, or plead, "Stay with me." But in truth, the most compassionate thing you can do is whisper reassurance. A calm voice, soft touch, and steady presence ease both fear and pain. This is a sacred moment of transition where love speaks louder than medicine ever could. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Your final thoughts. Aging reminds us that life is not just about how long we live, but how deeply we understand its rhythm. These signs, though difficult to see, aren't meant to frighten you. They exist to bring awareness, to help families and seniors face life's final chapter, not with panic, but with peace. Knowing what's coming gives us the gift of preparation, the chance to say what we need to say, to forgive, to express love, and to let go gracefully. The final year of life often strips away the unnecessary and reveals what truly matters. Health may fade, strength may wane, but connection, comfort, and compassion remain powerful until the very end. For those who are aging, remember your worth doesn't disappear with your energy. You are still a teacher, a story keeper, and a presence of wisdom for those around you. And for the families watching, don't fear the signs of decline. Instead, see them as the body's way of closing one chapter so another can begin. The goal is not to resist aging, but to embrace it with understanding and dignity. Death is not an enemy of life. It is its completion, the quiet resting place after a long, beautiful journey. So if you're watching this to care for someone you love, or to understand your own aging process, take heart. The signs are not endings, they're invitations to live more presently, love more openly, and accept more peacefully. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.